Hey guys, here are some formulas that you should know before entering into this video lesson. So the first four formulas are just review from previous units, and the new formulas here in the box are going to help us achieve our objective of finding surface area and volume for a prism or a cylinder. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and complete example number 1, which is a cylinder. So you can see that I've shaded in or highlighted my bases, which are circles. So to find the volume of a cylinder, I'm going to be using this formula, capital B, which means area of the base, and H, which means height of the cylinder. So that is given to me right here. So height of the cylinder is 16. 11, this is the radius of my circle. So in order to find the area of my base, I need to remember my area of a circle formula. So I'm going to take 11, I'm going to plug that in for R, and then I can find the area of my circle. So pi r squared is area of my circle times 16, which is the height of the cylinder. And then when simplifying that, 11 squared is going to give me 121 times 16. So I'm going to get a final answer of a volume 1,936 pi meters cubed, because it's volume cubic units. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and find the surface area. So surface area formula for a prism or a cylinder is two bases of the two highlighted circles plus L, and L stands for lateral area. Okay, so the lateral area is all of the area except for the bases. So it's this circular, curvy part around the edge of the cylinder, which, if you remember, we talked about this in class. That's going to end up being a rectangle, right? And that rectangle is going to have the dimensions of the height and the circumference. So the lateral area is really just the circumference times the height. So again, you need your circumference formula. If you don't remember, it's up here. Circumference is 2 times pi r. I already know r. I'm going to plug that in. And my height is also given to me. So this time I'm going to have two bases. So 2 areas of my circles plus my circumference times my height. So simplifying out my steps, 11 squared times 2 is going to give me 242 pi. 2 times 11 times 16 is going to give me 352 pi. Combine them together to get 594 pi meters squared. Example 2 does not have a circular base. So the base on this solid is a rectangle. So this would actually be a rectangular prism, because there's two bases, top and bottom. So we use the same formula, area of the base times the height. So area of our base is going to be 12 times 15 times our height of 2. So that gives us a volume of 360 feet cubed. Surface area, same formula as the cylinder problem. Two bases, those are the rectangles, top and bottom, plus lateral area. Now there's no circumference for a rectangle, so instead of circumference, same concept would be perimeter. So I'm going to plug in that same area of the base here, but there's two of them on my solid. Perimeter of the base, if you want to draw that out, that rectangle is going to look like 12, 15, 12, 15. So perimeter is 54. Right? And the height of this whole prism is still 2. So we multiply all that out and simplify for a total surface area of 468 square feet. Example 3 is a bit tricky because it's hard to visualize the base. So whenever you get a 3D solid, I would always ask yourself, what shapes do I have for my faces? So you can see the two triangles. You can probably see this rectangle here, this rectangle on the bottom, and this rectangle on the side. Well, it doesn't make sense to have 3 bases, so that means we must have a triangular base. And if there's 2, triangular prism. So I know I could still use the same two formulas that I've been using for volume and surface area of a prism. I'm going to find volume first. So area of my base. My base is a triangle. So remember from the beginning of the video, we need to know the area of a triangle formula. 1/2 base times height. Don't confuse these bases and heights with these bases and heights. They are different. This is just for the triangle itself. Okay, so this is going to be 1/2 in my triangle. 5 and 12 are my base and height. So 5 times 12, 1/2 5 times 12 is capital B, area of my base. The height is actually 4 inches of this prism. And it's hard to see, but if you tip this onto its side, this 4 would be the depth or the height of this prism. So we simplify this to get 120 cubic inches. Okay, now we're going to find surface area. So we've got two bases, which we already figured out the area of the base because it's a triangle. 1/2 times 5 times 12, plus our lateral area. And our lateral area is perimeter times height. So I'm going to simplify as we go here. 2 times 1/2, that cancels to 1. 5 times 12 is 60. Perimeter. How the heck are we going to find the perimeter of this triangle? Well, we have 5, 12, missing side, which I'm going to label C. We're going to have to use Pythagorean theorem. Okay, so go ahead and finish out the Pythagorean theorem. Let's figure out what that missing side of our triangle would be. So if you did out these steps correctly, you found that the hypotenuse came out to be 13, which means our perimeter is going to be all three sides added together, which is going to give us a total of 30 inches. So I can plug in 30 for perimeter, and height is still 4. So simplifying, we get 60 plus 120, so a total of 180 square inches for our surface area.